Et on se retrouve. Accroche-toi, papy. Ah ouais, il y a un peu de bruit que ça faisait aux lunettes de Louis. Ah, c'était mort. Tout va bien. Tout va bien. Moyen. Ça pourrait aller mieux. Ça pourrait aller mieux. T'es tout rouillé quoi. Génial. Allez viens papy. Tout va bien se passer.
Hurry. They are coming.
Ah. Génial. Comme dans la mission avec le Nebi. Ah ouais. Exactement. Génial. Génial.
We are their quarry.
Sans blague. Ça pue. Heureusement. Merde, 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 merde. Non. Très bien. Très bien. Ah, vous vous y attendez pas à ça. Ah, tu vas pas me la faire, ça. Tu vas pas me la faire. Allez. Certainement pas. Il est où le dernier? Il est là-bas. Il est là. Vous, je vous emmène. Tout ce que je peux, hein. Il n'y a pas de raison. Parce que je crois qu'eux, ils ont des... ils se font upgrade. Justement. J'arrive, Peakwood. Je m'occupe juste, voilà, de lui. Ouais, Peakwood. 5 sur 5. Ouais, j'extracte, hein, Allez, viens là, toi. Ah, je crois que j'ai pris une ou deux bastos, hein, quand même. Toujours aussi utile, hein, le Walker Gear. Contre les Skulls, il n'est pas photo. Alors on prend tout ce qu'on peut avant de partir. Il n'y a pas de raison. L'hélico est là. Ouais. J'arrive, Piccode. Il est tout rouillé notre Walker Gear. Tout baisé. C'est bon? Alors la tâche 4, c'est de capturer les skulls. La quatrième tâche, évidemment. Voilà, vous voyez, ils reçoivent tous la croix de service. Donc ils ont des meilleures stats. Dans l'absolu, ces mecs-là, quand les mecs possédés, faut jamais les tuer, faut toujours les extraire, parce que ça fait des bons soldats en fait. Easy. Easy. S. Voilà, voilà. Ça va mieux?
Skullface is no longer in Africa.
Ah.
The nuclear test was a success.
Ah.
Now they turned their knives on me.
Satellites didn't read any test. Neither did seismometers.
The detonation test took place 5 years ago in the southern Indian Ocean. The final test was the opposite, to prevent detonation.
You mean?
Skullface plans to sell nuclear weapons that he retains control of.
It's not like hawking small arms to militias.
Indeed. He plans to avoid detection by exporting minerals containing tiny amounts of uranium in the form of metallic archaea. Once on site, the metallic archaea enrich the uranium weaponize it. Loaded onto all-terrain bipedal machines. They ensure any country, armed group, even the smallest terrorist cell, can become a nuclear power.
Mais comment il fait pour que...
Bipedal. So that's why they needed Huey.
A nuke business to replace the arms business. And Skullface owns the market.
The very atmosphere of nukes, anywhere and everywhere. Deterrence on all sides.
So that's why he ran a non-detonation test.
Yes. Another metallic archaea instantly overrides the criticality generator. It fails safe only he controls. Any such weapon can be deactivated whenever he chooses, regardless of who owns it or their intent to use it.
Nukes. Controlled by a man, not a country. If they proliferate, conventional nukes lose all value. Political, military, and economic. The two superpowers become powerless.
Ça pue. Ah oui, tout ça. Et la machette. Et là, normalement... Voilà, la tenue parasite.
Teams have come up with a proposal for a new suit that applies Code Talker's research, the Parasite suit. Apparently, it can recreate some of the Skull's unusual abilities. But in order to use those abilities, it needs parasites. If you want to wear this suit, you're going to need to get a hold of parasites by extracting
Maintenant, on peut extraire les
skulls.
crânes.
We need to stop the epidemic at Mother Base.
Oui, ce serait bien. Ah, on est direct sur la zone de quarantaine. Parfait.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base, what's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite infestation. And judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikango strain. Meaning, a breed of parasite that triggers symptoms upon detecting pronunciation specific to Kikango.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic?
Use this. A type of Wolbachia. Introduced to a sample of the parasite. A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female and preventing copulation. You must cultivate more.
Ah bah voilà. C'était pas si compliqué d'arrêter une épidémie. J'avais juste trouvé un petit vieux, un vieil indien. Voilà, 2 jours après.
Thanks to Code Talker, we've managed to put a stop to any new vocal cord parasite infections. We couldn't save those already symptomatic, but everyone who survived has been released from the quarantine platform. Skullface will pay for this.
Il est marqué Metal Gear Solid 5 sur ses lunettes. C'est un lunetier français, je crois, qui a fait les lunettes de MGS5. C'est Jean-Paul Frey, je crois. Ah, Yui. Alors. Oui, parce que ça faisait longtemps.
Again with the truth serum?
Nope.
What are those legs made of? Titanium? All the way to the femur.
On a pas déjà vu ça? Je me rappelle plus.
Metallic Archée.
Sahelanthropus. Where is it?
What?
We have to know before his plan is complete. Sahelanthropus is the final piece.
What are you talking about?
If the Soviets break out a mobile, controllable nuclear weapon, East-West relations will be right back at the Cuban Missile Crisis.
The Cold War returns to life as countries without nuclear arsenals line up for what Skullface is selling. Nuclear weapons proliferate overnight, and on the brink of annihilation, the world maintains its balance.
But we know this is all just a shield,
A ruse. The cleansing parasites are what matter most. A WMD to eclipse even nukes, and the only one that can still be used. Skullface is the world's greatest threat, and Zero's. The pieces are in place. All that remains is to unveil Sahelanthropus in Afghanistan.
They can't activate it without me.
Bah tiens. Ça va, c'est la chaise.
Okay, B-Zero. Sahelanthropus is beyond the Soviet base camp, in a lab built by the Soviet philosophers. That's what you're looking for. But I have no idea how he's controlling it. It wasn't designed to accommodate a human pilot. No! No!
Le petit côté sadique.
Wait!
Le petit côté sadique d'Oslot. Ça c'est très très putain.
We got word from Afghanistan. Everyone at the Soviet base camp's dead. No sign of fighting. Parasites.
D'accord.
Skullface's men then headed north. The target is OKB-0. That's where he'll activate Sahelanthropus. Unless we stop him, he'll go down in history a conquering victor. We can't let that happen. Wipe him out. Don't leave any trace of his existence.
I'm gonna need backup on this one.
You'll rendezvous on site.
Cool. Ok, bon.
Mission list updated. Development project has been added.
Ok, on va développer des trucs. Et on va en profiter pour écouter des cassettes aussi. On va partir du principe qu'on se dirige vers le KB0. 14 cassettes, putain. Bon, ça on s'en fout, on l'a déjà fait. Enfin, on sait ce qui s'est passé, donc...
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base. You've seen everything we've got on the outbreak. What's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite
Ouais, ça on sait.
infestation. And judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikongo strain, meaning a breed of parasite
Ah
that
voilà.
triggers symptoms upon detecting pronunciation specific to Kikongo.
So our Kikongo-speaking staff are at risk.
Quite so.
He's right. All the victims do speak Kikongo.
Ouais bah,
So
si
they
j'avais
can
su,
survive
hein.
if they just use another language.
There is no guarantee. You're only dealing with the Kikongo strain.
Ah, le Brennan, obligé.
Other language strains may be
Tellement
present.
vénère celui-là.
You well know he was teaching them languages from all over the world.
The Devil's House.
Eh oui, c'est ça qui s'y passait en fait.
There is no way to know how many strains he has at his disposal.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic? You mentioned using microbes.
Use this. A type of Wolbachia. Introduced to a sample of the parasite.
Wolbachia.
A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites,
D'accord.
turning male to female and preventing copulation.
Ça on le sait.
You must cultivate more. What have you done with the infected bodies?
Cremated to stop the spread of it.
Now, we must wait for the Wolbachia to multiply in the larvae.
How is the disease transmitted? If it's carried by insects or rodents, then...
There is no intermediate host.
So...
The vocal cord parasites lay their eggs in the larynx of the host.
D'accord.
Most hatch and migrate to the lungs, but some are transported to the mouth through ciliary movement, mixing in with saliva.
Saliva. Droplet transmission.
Sneezing, coughing. Any food or water containing infected saliva.
Génial.
It would spread fast.
Indeed. And when the larvae migrate to the lungs, symptoms can resemble the early stages of a cold, making it easy to infect others.
Meaning
D'accord.
a simple conversation would be enough to pass it on.
Alright, so what happens after the larvae migrate to the lungs?
It is as I said before. They mature by feeding on alveolar tissue. It is only then that noticeable symptoms appear in the host.
And by that point, it's too late. He's infected everyone else. It's one hell of a weapon you've created.
That is what Blag Anna wanted. Something that would spread easily. In truth, he's not the reason.
Ah.
But we will discuss that another time.
Ok.
The Wolbachia have multiplied. We're preparing to extract them and begin
Ouais,
vaccinating.
alors on s'en fout.
The name Wala Yamasa got quite a reaction from you. I'm guessing the Kikongo strain was released in that village.
Ouais, je pense. Hein.
Cypher used that region to experiment with vocal cord parasite
C'est pour ça qu'il y avait beaucoup de morts.
The Kikongo strain. The settlements around the refinery upstream of Bwala Yamasa were the proving grounds. They would infect one villager.
Bon, on s'en fout.
The parasites, they were tested in other regions?
Their physiology requires that they be tested under varied
D'accord.
conditions. Another test site was in Afghanistan.
Ah, c'était
So
où?
it was the parasites there.
Both the Pashto and Tajik languages
Ah,
spoken in
d'accord.
the mountains of
Les rebelles.
Afghanistan, and population density is low. Ideal testing grounds for how accurately the parasites target only the
D'accord.
specified language. It is also relatively easy to prevent the spread of infection.
And the results?
The first test, I am told, was a success. Once the Pashtun Mujahideen were infected with the Pashto strain, they were all but wiped out.
Ouais.
The Hamid fighters at Pensez fort.
It was doubly successful. No Tajik Mujahideen or Soviet soldiers became symptomatic.
So the parasites proved to be effective. What about the second test?
Ah oui, le second test, oui.
Also supposedly a success. A Pashtun village was the target. However, the original aim was to obtain samples of the infected.
D'accord.
In this, they failed.
And the village?
The Soviets enacted a standard scorched earth
Ah,
operation.
c'était ça.
That must have been the village where Malak
Ouais,
lived
voilà.
before being held captive at La Marjate Palace.
Having had more time to think on it, the details shared with me may have been false. They are madmen who would do anything to cover up the truth.
They certainly seem to like tossing their problems in the fire.
As a boy, Skullface's life went up in flames. Perhaps that is what fuels his fixation with fire.
Ouais. Bon, ça, on sait ce qu'ils font, les Wallback. Ça, on s'en fout. Ah, c'est pas important pour l'histoire. Ça, on s'en fout. Ça, on s'en fout. Ça, on s'en fout.
Code Talker.
Enfin, là, on regardera peut-être le test nucléaire en Afrique du Sud.
Volcanic craters spewing sulfur.
Mhm.
Water hot enough to boil your skin off. Ocean depths of 800 plus atmospheres. Wastelands radioactive enough to kill you where you stand. There are groups of organisms that survive despite.
Ah, d'accord.
No. Because of living in such environments.
I've heard about them. Extremo something.
Extremophiles. By selecting
Les extrémophiles.
then subculturing and repeatedly modifying them, I created a metallic offspring of pure Archaea. They subsist on metals rather than organic
D'accord.
matter.
And some of them even consume uranium?
Yes. Uranium enrichment Archaea metabolize only uranium-235. As a result, they produce weapons-grade enriched uranium. How is that possible? Consider how plants fractionate carbon isotopes when they conduct photosynthesis. Nature possesses abilities beyond our imagination.
C'est plausible, hein, n'empêche.
It was Archaea that brought down your chopper?
Corrosive Archaea, yes. They oxidize metals, feeding off the energy in the electrons they receive. What became of the wreckage?
We had the R&D team retrieve samples for study in airtight plastic containers, of course.
Prudent. We shall extract Archaea from it in good time. They should help you fight back against Blagana.
Any chance we could start now? It doesn't have to be a lot. I might just have another use for them.
If it's only a small amount you need.
That's fine. I'll get the R&D team to assist.
Ah, la petite quantité, c'était pour Yui, je pense.
South Africa was previously suspected of developing nuclear weapons. It already had a conspicuous presence at the UN because of apartheid and its
Oh,
armed
sulfureuse, putain, la
expansion. But
localisation.
when neighboring Angola and Mozambique
Ça a
became
toujours été un
socialist
problème dans
countries
Metal Gear
in
Solid, ça.
74, South Africa felt hounded into a corner. So it accelerated its nuclear program to protect itself.
3 years later, the Soviets discovered a test facility, and 2 years after that, an American satellite observed a flash in the southern Indian Ocean. It said this was South Africa conducting a nuclear test with the help of a certain ally. Skullface used the situation in South Africa to get this ally to lend a hand. They both wanted nukes, so it was a mutually beneficial relationship. On the surface, anyway.
I figure South Africa started getting serious about nuclear weapons production in '75. In '74, the government was still able to get by with bluffing that it had a nuclear arsenal. But the year after, word spread that an independent armed group in the Caribbean was crushed by Cypher for possessing a WMD. That's right, boss. What happened to you and your men was the reason South Africa decided to push ahead with nuclear development. A force independent of any country getting its hands on a nuke. That was a threat to the existence of countries everywhere. It wasn't just South Africa. Your presence pushed a lot of countries to get nukes. The world was scared of you. You were a threat to more than just the Cold War. If nations are gears in a machine, you had the power to smash them loose and watch the whole world grind to a halt.
Ouais, évidemment. Alors, on va se quitter, hein, de toute façon. Alors que nous sommes en route. Ouh, papillon coupable, c'est bien ça. On développe des trucs. J'ai juste développé, j'ai vu un truc tout en bas tout à l'heure. Ça. Donc le bras fusé, évidemment. Le rocket punch. La tenue parasite, j'en ai pas encore, donc. Bam. Et une tenue d'infiltration niveau 4. Ah, ok. Bon, tant pis. Ah bah si.
Please specify a project.
Ah, c'est ça pour les trucs pour le multi? Ils sont tout jaunes? Ouais, c'est ça. D'accord, ah oui, effectivement, on les reconnaît maintenant. Et est-ce que je peux faire un truc pour mon coéquipier? Le papillon coupable, silencieux. 1h12, merde. C'est chier. Ok. On va juste personnaliser l'hélico. Et on se retrouvera pour la prochaine mission.